back himself against the ropes and counter punch. He's a different boxer now. He stays in the center of the ring. He's more active, ironically, as heavyweight. Nice hooks by Guinn. If he can get that punch in this fight, let me tell you something. That gives him a great chance for victory. It's not his most prominent punch, but again, you need it against Toney.
Well, at his best, Guinn, extremely fast hands, but has to put them together.
He's got skills. And look at him, he's working well on the inside, and now Toney comes back.
Somebody said he doesn't know how talented he is. That's part of the problem.
That's a very good statement, Steve. It's really true, and sometimes that's true of people.
But he's so much more of a threat when he throws combinations. Nice uppercut on the inside by Toney to the chin.
Now, does he want to languish on the inside like this, where the shorter arm Toney can do work like that uppercut? I don't know. I think distance is better for Guinn right now, and Toney's proving it. And this is the Toney that fights off the ropes so effectively.
Guinn is letting his punches go more frequently than we've seen in the recent past. He's just been so hot and cold. When he's hot, he's very good. But Toney seems content to be on the ropes here, and he may be playing a little possum.
And he's doing good work off the ropes. He's landing those little uppercuts. There's a little clubbing right hand. He's been a bit more effective in here than Dominick Guinn has.
Great body punch with the left hand by Toney, and clubbing away with the right hand.
This is not a posture for Dominick Guinn. He has a big height and reach advantage. He's got a good jab. He needs room to punch.
Now he steps back.
See, landed a right hand. Tactically, he has allowed Toney to control a lot of this round.
I think Toney watches the tapes because Guinn is susceptible to uppercuts. You know why? Because he leans in. Watch.
Exactly.
He comes in, has a habit of falling in after he throws.
And that's part of the reason why the counter rights and those uppercuts will work. The jab of Guinn has been underused so far in this fight.
And former trainer Ronnie Shields used to bust a gut when urging Guinn to throw more of that jab and to let his hands go more.
I think there's a little mouse underneath the left eye of Dominick Guinn. I'm really surprised Guinn is fighting so much on the inside against Toney. That doesn't feel right to me, and Toney is doing a much better job on the inside.
Why not use his height and reach to his advantage?
Nice job.
On the inside, rough going on the inside with Toney. Now there they both kind of moved their head together, and both men created a clash of heads. Now on the inside, on the ropes, James Toney using the uppercuts very effectively and counter-punching off those ropes to both the body and the head. And he's good at this. He's always been good at it. Now, Guinn steps back to get some punching distance, which is where he should be. And even though that right didn't land perfectly, it got there. But there's the counter right hand by James Toney. Is he a master at throwing that punch? And that's a very key weapon for him.
And we talked about Joe Goosen being one of the best trainers going today. How about Toney's trainer, Freddie Roach, who's built a bigger name as a trainer than he did as a boxer? One of the finest, fiercest fighters never to win a world title. He's coached some of the biggest characters in the game, including Mike Tyson. Toney is a character, but not in a negative or self-destructive sense. He's more theatrical in a Max Baer sort of way, don't you think?
Good analogy.
Kind of a throwback.
Yeah, maybe a little more harsh than Max, but yeah, you're right. Now there's Guinn ripping with that right hand. We've not seen a straight right too much from him either. And remember, he talked about throwing lots of punches no matter where they landed. He's not thrown with that kind of abandon yet. Oh, nice clubbing right by Toney. And I'm not sure to this point, Steve, that Toney hasn't impressed Dominick Guinn with his power a little bit, which is part of the reason why Guinn's a little bit more timid.
Yeah, a little reluctant, a little reserved to let it go. Toney's such a different person now. He just brings a totally different mentality into the past. Nice right as he was going backwards by Toney.
The fascinating thing to me is, you know, I did so many of James Toney's fights where he would lay on the ropes for 8, 9, 10 rounds, counterpunch a guy, be almost a stationary kind of Pillsbury doughboy. Now, even at these bigger weights, he's in the middle of the ring throwing lots of punches, and that's fascinating to me. You'd think he would have done that, 40 pounds ago when he was lighter.
Past the halfway point of round 3. Well, in his earlier days, his middleweight, super middleweight days, he'd take fights off. I mean, he would just look totally lackluster. Conditioning was an issue, and you wondered if his heart was in it. But today, I don't know if it's age, maturity, a sense of urgency or what, but he is all business. And Dominick Guinn's not worked the body yet much in this fight, and if you're going to make things happen against a 37-year-old who's packing extra weight, you better work the body early. Instead, he's allowed Toney on the inside to do this excellent work and languished in there. I don't know if that's good for Dominick Guinn. I don't think it is. Guinn takes another step back.
Don't hold.
Throws a combination on the inside, and then fights from close range.
Yeah, you see how good Toney. Yeah, it's very obvious that James Toney, with those short arms, the quick hands on the inside, this is his place to be.
Oh, there's a wet, beautiful left hand by Toney upstairs. Another one, and he's landing.
Why Dominick Guinn's not giving himself more punching room, I don't know. And Toney's actually doing more work to the body.
Go, time.
Good round for James Toney.
Deep one. Swing, Joseph. Hi, James. Work off those ropes. Nice shots. If you're turning out those shots, you're going to find yourself right in a better position, okay? Right. It's real nice body work. Keep working that body when you come back to the head from it, okay? All right?
So here's the other brother, the promoter of James Toney, Dan Guinn, the brother of Guinn's trainer, Joe Guinn.
And I've known the Guinns for, 20-some years. There's 8 brothers in the family. They're as competitive as they get. So, believe me, they want to get their job done. But when it's done, they'll be the closest of friends again.
They all played roller hockey as kids. They were competitive then. They're competitive now.
Their dad literally took a wall out so they'd have room to do it in the house. This fight, it's been an active fight, and of course in comparison to the previous one, very much active. But strategically, I said in the keys for Toney not to stay on the ropes, and I did that under the supposition that Guinn would be at long range peppering him with jabs and straight right hands. What's happened is when Toney has retreated to the ropes, Guinn has followed him too closely there and given Toney a chance to do this kind of stuff. See, Guinn needs to step back now. And why he isn't, I don't know.
So in other words, what you're saying is your keys to victory are being fouled up because Guinn's not doing the right thing.
Exactly. I hate when these fighters do that.
I hate when that happens.
But look at how well Toney can counter when you're on the inside. Now, from distance, let's see if Guinn functions better.
Didn't you also say that Guinn should work the body?
Yes, and that, of course, he has not done early in this match. And when Toney's in this posture, he can do it. Now, at 37 and at his highest weight, will James Toney fade a bit in this fight? Will he be less active as we go on? That's maybe one thing that Guinn would be hoping, but right now, look at what James Toney's doing.
Barrage by Toney. Wait a minute, 37, that's young today in the heavyweight.
Yeah, you're right. He's a whippersnapper.
We would be young if we were in the heavyweight.
Well, that's like I got carried away. Maybe you would. I don't know.
The chance of Toney ring out. Certainly better than what was ringing out in the first fight.
Well, he's fighting very well, and Dominick Guinn's helping him out by languishing on the inside like this. Now, Guinn is being somewhat active. It's not that he's not throwing some punches. It's just he's doing it in a posture that isn't his forte. And again, nothing downstairs. He should be ripping hooks and right hands Guinn to the body. And he can do it. He's a very good body puncher, Dominick Guinn. He really is.
Holding.
Best line of the night offered up by Jay Nady, the referee here. All right, don't touch gloves.
You know, James Toney's fought 12 former or current world champions in 4 weight division during his long career. He's seen everything in that boxing ring, and that experience is a monstrous help to him, especially against a fighter like Guinn who's not seen that kind of competition.
Yeah, James Toney with the huge advantage of experience, of course, and quality of opposition.
What round is this here? I know you feel good, right?
5.
Okay. You feel real good? Because I'll tell you what, if you get a little distance, he's not going to touch you. Okay, if you're going to lay on him, you got to do what I tell you. Okay, you got to maneuver him, you got to whip him. Let's not have all this work go to waste. You got to maneuver.
They are so close here, as you see this box. Look at how they are right next to each other, and they're going to stay in this box. Not much distance when they're on the inside. And that is not working for Dominick Guinn.
That was better than Little House on the Prairie. That was great.
Should have drawn a chimney on top, I think.
How about, that's right. How about Joe Goossen? First thing he said to Dominick Guinn, you feeling all right? And then he said, you got to give yourself a little distance. This is exactly what you've been saying. You can't win on the inside with this guy.
And he said, if you're going to get on the inside and lay there, you got to listen to what I'm doing. You've got to rip shots, especially to the body. You know what James Toney brings to the heavyweight division, and we're seeing it even against a heavyweight that has some pretty good hand speed. He punches quicker than other heavyweights, and that's an issue.
I know. Try to keep your head away from this.
I'm looking at James Toney, and honestly, I'm going back in my brain. I'm still amazed. He's standing there as a heavyweight fighting against these guys and looking good.
A guy who started out at 160 and has won 3 world titles in lower divisions. He did win the WBA heavyweight title, then was stripped of it for the drug and steroids, as you look at press row scoring. And it's all for Toney, but pretty close.
I actually have given them all of the rounds.
Is that right? They all had it by 2 points. Alon Hyam, who is the assistant to Joe Goossen, was telling me the other day at the press conference that sparring partners were lined up in Dominick Guinn's gym for free to help him beat James Toney, which is kind of a statement on James. But you know, I like him. I like James. The fighters don't seem to, but
well, he's very outspoken, you know.
No question.
And he's had his share of little tiffs all around, but he marches to the beat of his own. He marches to the beat of his own drummer, and he does what he wants in life.
But I think a lot of that is shtick.
Well, the portion of it, certainly. Good left hook by Dominick Guinn. Now, early on, he's throwing that punch and using it somewhat effectively.
You're holding his arm. Thank you.
Well, that was nice. James Nady told Dominick Guinn, you're holding his arm, and he released himself, and then he got James's attention with a nice right hand.
Holding. You're holding.
I just don't know if Dominick Guinn can win this fight on the inside. And maybe he can as this fight goes on. He's certainly been more active. He's taken Joe Goossen's advice, and when he is on the inside, he is being more active.
Oh, right hand upstairs by Toney.
Now, Dominick Guinn has never been down as a pro. So he's been hit by Sergey Lakovich and a few other big punchers. So it's not like he's going to fall down from getting hit by a punch.
Well, this is certainly the most active he's been in a while. He was lethargic against a one-dimensional fighter, a Friday Ahunanya.
Don't holding.
He did look good against Sergey Lakovich, and as we said.